Hey there, welcome to Nerd Junction. I'm your host, Chunky, or Chunky Middle Aged Nerd if you want the really long version. We're learning how to play a game today. Michael Kiesling created a sequel to his Azul game. Azul being the wall tiling in your palace game. Now we're working on the windows. And it is stained glass. It's called Stained Glass of Sintra. Ooh, and it is fun. It is a pretty game. The point of the game is to score as many points as you can by the end of 6 rounds by ordaining your palace with the most beautiful panes of stained glass of the region. This is your palace. There's 2 sides of your palace, and we'll cover that in there. This game is great for ages 8 and up. The reason why it's 8 and up, the tiles, just like from Azul, might be mistaken for candy. Because if I were like 3 or 4, I would try eating them. I ain't gonna lie. That's how I got chunky. Yeah! So, without further ado, let's see what's in the box, learn how to play it, see how it ends. Let's play some Azul! Stained Glass of Sintra. Yeah! When you open the box, obviously you have your full color instructions. Just a nice full color trifold. The next thing you'll probably come across is the playboard. Everybody plays on the same board, which, by the way, very flimsy cardboard. I haven't looked into it, but you might want to look to see if there's some way you can put this in something to protect it, because it is just very thin. It's a point-based track. We have ways to win in Game A, which I will cover, ways to win in Game B, which I will cover. These are your round markers. And there are some of these Azul tiles, or glass, I should say, will go into each of these. This is the broken glass. As you can see, they're minus. So this will probably be a bad thing. We'll cover that when we get to it. Now, as you see, I already had the bag out. This holds 100 individual pieces of tiled glass. Okay, these are supposed to be glass. But there are red, orange, clear, yellow, and there's a blue, which I don't have in my hand there, in a nice bag. And that will sit right here. We have a glass tower. What the glass tower does is, as we remove glass from either our windows to our palace walls and windows, they go in here, or for various reasons, glass might end up in there. If you played Azul, you know these are not coasters. These are factories. For a 2-player game, you need 5. So we'll take 5. For 3, 7, 4, all 9 will be needed. In here, this little bag, which, by the way, we're going to come across a bag here shortly that was not included. I recommend getting extra bags for your board games, either from your local game store or from a craft store, just to have on the side, just in case you need them. Because sometimes games don't have ways of separating specific meeples or different chits for your games or whatever you got. So, because it's a 4-player game, there are 4 colors: gray, red, blue, and yellow. We're going to play as yellow and red. So for each color, there should be 1 glazer, which is the little meeple looking guy. There's my red meeple. And you should have 2 of the same colored cubes. Why do you have those, you ask? Well, the glazer is going to be important for when we get to place our glass. The little cubes, 1 will go on the 0 to keep track of our score, because we all keep score at the same time, and 1 will go inside of the broken glass area. Ooh, very ominous. But we'll set those to the side. Next is our palace. And again, just like the meeples and the glazers and all that kind of good stuff, there are 4 colors. We're going to go with yellow and red. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that A and B are represented in your palace. We're going to play Game A. I'll explain Game B at the end as far as scoring goes. So we just need those. Then there are 8 assembly windows for each color. It should be 8 red, 8 yellow, 8 blue, 8 gray. We will set those to the side. If you've played Azul, and if not, you will become very familiar with the first person tile. Who gets this at the beginning of the game? Well, if you were the last one to wash a window, you get this tile. You get to start the game. And in this little bag, you'll see that you have one of each color. These, along with one from the bag, will represent our rounds. The first player will randomly... Matter of fact, let's just do that. That was the last thing we needed, right? So, if we set up here, me as the first player will take these out. Oh boy, this bag is fun. And I put them in my hand. And then I'm going to shake them up and at random go from bottom to top. Just like that. And then from the pink bag will be the first round tile. This one. Okay. We'll cover why that's important in just a moment. So let's go ahead and put this all the way down here, shall we? Actually, we can probably just put it all the way over there. Let's move it. Now, because I'm going to be playing both players, I'm going to set up my factories here, leaving a nice spot in the middle for something we're going to do here in a little bit. Then, I'm going to place 4 gold pieces of glass on each factory. And they're at random also. Don't look in the bag. Don't be that person. Real-time gameplay. Here you go. You know what I mean about them looking like candy, though, man? I would totally eat that. Totally. All right, set up, you silly thing. So I just need one more for this guy? All right. Woo! Throw it! Didn't mean to throw it. All right, I'm the first player. I'm going to be the red. And my partner next to me will be the yellow. Is that too confusing? Possibly. So let's just set up here with that guy. And we can set up here. Yeah, we'll set up here. Let's set up here. So I'm going to take my window areas, my building areas basically. I'm going to probably throw one or two of them on the ground because that's not what you should be doing. All right, try it again. And then you're going to randomly just mix them up and you're going to set them in front of you. It doesn't matter which side you have unless you get the piece with, let's see if I can find it. I probably already placed it. Nope, it's right here. You will have one of these that will have 2 gray locations. These are wilds. These are joker areas. They cannot be on your first build. So if you have them face up at the beginning of the game, please kindly turn them over. You don't get to play with those yet. And then, of course, this guy gets to do it too. Oh my goodness. They just kind of fall into place. And those boards are set up. Take your glazer, set this just a little bit down, and he goes to the leftmost area of your building, of your assembly basically. One of each of your color blocks goes on 0. One of each of your color blocks goes at the top of the broken glass ladder. We're about ready to start. As you notice, we have different rounds. So the first round, we're showing a blue. Okay. Being the first player, First thing I do is I put this in the center. And then I'll show you why here in just a second. I can only put glass in one row, in the same row, from underneath my glazer over to the right. So if my glazer's here, I can't put anything over here when I draft. When I draft all of the same color. So I can't just take one of these oranges. I have to take all of the oranges or all of the clears. In this case, I would take these two clear. I would place them underneath my glazer, underneath this spot right here. Now this factory's been picked on, so it will go in the center. The second player now may go, and the second player is going to, let's say my second player wants those two clears. They will move the glazer to the area they want it to go to the right. The glazer can only move left in a special situation, which I will cover right now. If you cannot build any panes while you are if you cannot put any glass into your units, you can decide not to draft, and you can move your glazer all the way back to the left so that you can start over again. You will not be able to draft, but your next turn, your options would be more open. So the next move would be mine after we take those last two colors and put those in the center. Well, I see 3 red in this location. So I'm going to move my glazer to this location here to take the 3 red, place them in this location because I want to complete all 5 of one of my window areas. Hopefully I'll get to show that to you in the first round. Second player is trying for theirs as well. Paying attention to what is in the factories as well as what goes into the middle is very important, because like right now, obviously, this player is not going to be able to finish this particular piece of window pane before the end of this round. I, however, can, and I'm going to take the 1 red from the center. If you take any of the colors from the center, let's say if you took the 3 orange or the 2 blue, you also must take the first player piece with you, and you go down 1 spot on the broken glass track. I got to place that there. The next player wants all those oranges, so they're going to go ahead, place all the oranges. Now there's no first player tile there, so they're okay. They can just take those. However, they're kind of limited now because now they're down to only 2 areas they can place their glass. I am going to take this last yellow that's in the center. As you see, I now have 5 on one of my glass areas. So what I would do now is first I see if I'm matching the color that's on the very top. Is it? No, because that's blue. I only have yellow and red. If any of these were blue, the amount that would be blue would be worth 1 point each. So if all 5 were blue, it'd be worth 5 points. And so on and so down. But they're not. So the next thing that I would do is I would take the 5 pieces of glass and I would choose one. Now, where do you put it, you ask? Right here. See this little arrow with the flip it over? I place it here. And I flip it over. Now I have this new one I can actually build on. Where do I put those for? That's what the glass tower's for. Boom! Glass tower. The Next player, going to go ahead and take that orange, putting all those in the center. Now I can go. I have joker areas here. So I could feasibly take the 2 reds, place them in the joker area, and pass the turn. The next player looks and goes, okay, well, I will take the last 2 blue. Neat. Oh, there was one thing that I forgot. Oh, geez. You guys are going to shoot me. So after you place down here in your palace, you'll notice there's little numbers down at the bottom. If you have 1 or 2 located here when you place it, so I've placed this 1, it is worth 2 points. So I can move my little cube 2. Afterwards, if I have others to the right of it that have 1 or 2 in the location, I can add those points as well. So if I had, say, 1 here, I could go 2, and then I get another 1. Or if I had them all, it'd be 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. If you can fill 1 up here and go all the way down, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. So don't forget about these points like I just did. Add these points. And which means I get last pick, or I can choose to move my glazier. I will move my glazier. He has to move his glazier. And I get the yellow. Round's over. So what happens is the first player takes off the marker, replaces, and you don't have to do them pretty. Some people like to have them look really pretty, and I don't blame them. This is a very pretty game. Nothing against other games, but I like the Azul tiles and the stained glass pieces. Whoa, that's one too many. Okay. And I'm first player. This is round 2. And round 2, put this away. I look at what I have and, oh, look, I am needing a yellow. I'll take a yellow. And push all those to the center. My opponent probably just wants this one. Wait, my opponent moves down 1, wants to complete so he can place his frame, or his pane, I should say. Puts those away. Now, was it the color? Yes, it was. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? I didn't see it until just now, but I caught it. The color is clear. How many does he have? 5. That is worth 5 points. Except I went the wrong way. 5 points. Don't go the wrong way. Don't go to 95. Don't be that player either. So I can put that one in the one location. It is worth 3 points. Right now, yellow is in a commanding lead. And because it's my first pane completed, I simply flip over to expose the next set. And then it's my turn. Okay. There is 1 yellow. I will take. Now, I have 2 of the clear, so I can move 2. I choose to put the yellow down here, put the rest away. Now, this is worth 4 points. 4 and then 2, so I get 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because it's the first one there, I get to flip it over. All clear. He moves his glazier down. He will take the 2 red. And the first player, which will drop him down on the broken glass ladder. Now, it's not just the first player that gives you minus points. Oh no. If you were to draft too many to fit in a row, let's say, well, I don't really have one here. Yes, I do. Let's go here. Let's say I want these. So I can put one in its location. There's two left, and I can't put them any further down because that's the rules, guys. So each one counts as broken glass. They hit the floor and they break. Psh. For each one, go down 2. And they go into the tower. All right, the next player wants to go with the blue. Me, I'll go with the blue. I'll go with this one blue and put those in the center. Oh, these have to go in the center too. And then we go, can't place anything there. He's going to go down to the very end, gonna place his 2 orange and live his life. Me, I'm going to move down 2 and put the 2 yellow in this last location here. Or the second to last. He has nothing else to do, so he will take his turn and move his glazer all the way to the back to the left. I will not. I will take the last 3 orange. And guess what? It finishes another one. Now, do I have the right color? No, because it's clear for this round. I'm going to go ahead and choose a orange in this case. Put the rest away. It's completed, but it's only worth 1 point. I don't have anything on the other side, so it's only worth 1 point. And I flip it over. So the next player, go ahead and choose that one. I was here. I can choose the yellow, and that would end the round. If you are able to finish the next set for your window pane, what it will do is it will completely remove one of your assembly areas. So when you move your glazer can only move left to an area above. So if, say, there's a gap here and a gap here, it can only go there. You couldn't place it there or there. But yeah, that's how that works. Those were the first 2 rounds. Let's wrap up a game and see where we end up. Okay, so we've come to the end of the game. We've gone through all 6 rounds. Broken glass, different things we've done. Now we just come to the end of the game. The first thing we do is we count any leftover glass we have up in our assembly areas. For every 3, you get a point. So we each have 3, so we each get a point. Next, we're going to score what's called ornaments in the A game. Now, ornaments are, and I'll show you on this gray, ornaments are these little black diamonds in the center. And depending on how many panes are around them is how many points you score. So, if you have all 4 surrounding an ornament, like in this case right here, I have a yellow, a clear, a blue, excuse me, and an orange, it is worth 10 points. I have one of those. So I'll go from 25 to 35. My opponent does not, because it's not around the ornament. The ornament is here, not here. So they have 4, but it's not around an ornament. If you have 3, it's worth 6 points. I have none. My opponent has 1, 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. My opponent has 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have 2 around an ornament, that is worth 3 points. And I have 2 of those, so I get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. My opponent has 1, which is worth 2 points. If you have only one or no glass in the pane around an ornament, you get no points. And that's how you complete the game. Now, you're probably wondering about the B. Or if you weren't wondering about the B, now you should worry about the B. This is the B side. If you notice, it's the same flip them over, the same get rid of them, the same amount of points on the bottom. But there are no ornaments. What you do is you choose your most prominent color. Let's say you had a lot of red on there. And you multiply that number of the colors you have times completed pane areas. So you have to have 2 panes to call it a completed. See how they're arched? So you got to complete the 2 panes in order to complete it. So if you had, say, 5 red that you called and you completed 3 of the pane areas, that's 15 extra points at the end of the game. That's how the B game varies from the A game. If you like this video, please subscribe. I want to thank Black Dragon Games LLC in Twin Falls, Idaho, blackdragongames.net. You can get your Magic singles there. You can get tons of information. I will see you next time in the Nerd Junction. Peace!